Jerry, there was a Tembea Kenya crew at the event. Jerry, there was a Tembea Kenya crew at the event. Yeah. So
is it Tembea or tourism?
Tembea Kenya, so maybe Wanjeri talk to us about, like they came and they had, like a talk and everything. So tell us about the Tembea Kenya crew and what your thoughts were about Tembea Kenya.
So my initial thought was very visceral. I think just like you guys, I didn't understand why they were there. And we thought that they actually are based in the US. So I actually did talk to that lady, I forget her name. And I asked her, what is her role? Why is she at the event? I felt like I was grilling her, but she was kind enough to explain what she was there to do. So she said she was there from Brand Kenya, Magical Kenya, whatever they call themselves. And the intention was to actually, so there was a marathon expo on Sunday, I believe, which I was not aware. So there was a marathon expo on Sunday, and Kenya was showcasing itself. And so she said her whole purpose was they were coming to actually target people who run for leisure, people who run for fun. And she actually said they actually have the number that America, I think Japan, and I forget which other country, have the highest numbers of people who just run for, for fun, right? And they take it seriously. So their aim is to actually target those kind of people and encourage them to come to Kenya and train in Iten, or like go for a run with other Kenyans in Iten or any other part of Kenya. And I remember challenging her that, do you have the hotel capacity? Because if you promote this, then you need to make sure you have the hotel capacity in that area. But she made it clear that actually the intention is for those people to come for only like 2 or 3 days in like Iten or around that area, run a marathon, and then go on to Masai Mara, go on safari. So they're trying to package the athletes together with I guess the national parks, which takes us full circle to where we started with how does the government promote our athletes. So it looks like now they want to place them at the same level as national parks, which is okay, but I think they need to do a better job. I think all of us were in the audience cringed. You remember she used the word terrorism, right? Like Kenyans, like our, like our Kenyan runners will terrorize you. And I almost wanted to tell her not to use that word again when she speaks in front of people, but
Especially in Boston, right? Especially in Boston, right? Yeah.
It was the wrong choice of words, but I think it goes to show how at times our people, we don't think through what we are trying to say, because that is a very strong word to use in an audience, and say that we're going to terrorize you. I don't think people will take that word lightly, but I think her intention was good, or at least whatever they're trying to do. I think the question is, will they actually follow through? Those people just here to earn their per diem money. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Okay, Mike, what was your perception or your view of the Tembea Kenya presence in the event?
First, I was surprised and shocked when I heard that they were there. And then they have a North American chapter. Or is it a North American? What was it?
That's what they said.
North American, whatever. And even
so she said, so sorry to cut you short. So yes. She said they're actually based in Kenya, but I think they were trying, because she made it very clear they don't have an office here. They are trying to work with the embassy, right? But I don't know what she was trying to say, that they have a North American chapter, but I think she meant in the sense that they're trying to target the athletes in North America because it has the highest numbers of leisure runners, basically.
Again,
maybe they were just trying to target
again
to get a presence in North America
again
with the embassy.
And these are the things that if you really want to do, okay, moving forward, I don't know about prior or previous situations, but moving forward, wouldn't it be nice if they team up with Wahome, and you can say, let's collaborate. We can fund, we can organize, we can get the word out.
So maybe Wahome needs to tell us because I also was surprised to see them there.
And, because here's another thing. If they're really trying to do that, then you would be hearing of them, let's say, in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Like when guys were huko, when Omanyala, the Kenyan team was in Oregon last year.
Yeah. If they're paying for these expos, they're paying for like the Marathon Expo.
Thank you.
Here is someone, like in my day job, Esther, we have day jobs. This is not what we do all the time. In my day job, I get to travel quite a bit, so sometimes mukini sikia niko Las Vegas ama San Francisco. I'm not a leisure traveler like Wanjeri. Me, mi wanangojea za kampuni.
And by the way, Wanjeri is an accomplished scientist. Mujue hivyo, but
yes, an accomplished scientist. Ruth was reminding us to tell people there.
Yeah. Oh, so she's not just a litmus paper that lights things and the test tube ninis.
But these expos, like I can imagine a marathon expo, where it has people attending from all over the world. We have, we attend expos for my company that are sometimes just domestic within the US, and the monies that we pay to get a booth, to do certain small things within the expo, like to go make a talk about the product that you're having, to have just your banner, like shown somewhere, or to have, it is very expensive. There's some events that cost up to 50,000, some cost even up to 100,000, plus the cost of you taking your employees there. So if these guys if they're paying for these expos they're going, they need to be sponsoring these events. Like you
why
want
not?
To take
collabo, yes.
Yeah, you want to take advantage of a space where Kenyans have organized, paid out of pocket to come together. How about you sponsor the whole event? Give us $50,000 or whatever amount of money, $80,000 or $100,000 or whatever amount it costs to hold such an event. Sponsor it and come and advertise your way to death. Now, here's another problem I have with always tying everything to animals. I love me some animals, but that's not the only thing that Kenya has to offer. We cannot be tying everything to animals. Beach, animals. Athletics, animals. Sijui, like you want to advertise Nairobi Life. Animals. Not everybody wants to see animals. There are some people who are just avid runners. They're not interested, like in seeing animals. They're okay with seeing them on National Geographic.
Because even with her saying, like with what she told Wanjeri, which is sometimes is like, it's not even seeing beyond your nose, and some things are not supposed to be uttered. Some things are just supposed to stay in the brain. Mm-hmm. We don't want those guys to. Because simply put, you come, what is your capacity? Because what if those guys don't want to go for safaris? What if they have already done that? All they want now is just to chill and hang out.
Yes, absolutely.
Either way, you will still at some point probably have to provide accommodation.
Yeah,
so what is your
options.
capacity?
Yeah.
Right? And maybe from there they want to tour the town, maybe they want to take a road trip, maybe they want to drive up, or within that E10, maybe circular. Why are you trying to limit them and just direct them to animals? They probably have seen enough animals on Discovery Channel, and they've already done enough to us probably for the duration of time that they have been visiting Kenya.
I
don't
think,
limit them to that.
Yeah, I think we, like these major marathons that we always win is a very big missed opportunity for Kenya.
Did you see a Tembea Kenya flag signage somewhere in the even at the finish line? What would it take? Or even, for example, when these guys are coming in, you have Chebet coming in at third, being made by Tembea Kenya, Nava, Tembea Kenya, whatever, signage, whatever it is, or even the ladies, because we had a 1, 2, 3.
We had a 1, 2, 3. These are big missed opportunities whereby they were telling us at the event, they want every Kenyan out here to bring at least 1 or 2 people. But here's a problem. Whenever you guys are doing your marketing, you're working with non-Kenyans. You're paying expos. Like I remember even when Kenya Airways was first coming to the US.
To New York, yes.
Yeah, to New York, those events, they were working with American firms, and who's the lowest hanging fruit when it comes to traveling to Kenya? It is the Kenyans themselves. We are the ones who travel there every year. But, like for some reason, when they come here, they feel like they don't need us, but they come telling us.
You don't spend enough money.
Yeah, they come telling us you need you need to bring 1 or 2 people. So I think this is a very big missed opportunity, and I think something needs to be done differently in how tourism is marketed in Kenya, because you have countries like South Africa who've nailed it. You have countries like Rwanda who are getting it. You have quite a number of African countries. I don't even want to go outside the continent.
Right.
And some of these countries, maybe South Africa is on another level, but some of these other countries that are nailing it, they don't have half or a quarter as much of what Kenya has. So to me, like, this is one thing, Tembea Kenya, if you're listening, you guys gotta do better from what you're doing right now. DJ Moshfire.
You should pull up your goddamn socks.
So one mic, it's funny you brought up the issue of the accommodation, because that's the same thing I asked her. And you know what her response was? She said those runners just need a dorm. That was actually her response.
And you know what's interesting is that
Wow.
Are you serious?
And the reason why they say that is that the way that those places are set up where the tracks are, they actually have dorms. Literally.
Yes, and the Kenyan runners, they're okay
And that's
with
okay
staying
for
there.
the Kenyan run. But then even the guys who are from outside who come to train with them, since hiyo ndio accommodation iko, unajipanga.
Yeah, because guys are coming out of
Because
it,
your
but-
goal is to train, right?
But if you're trying to attract leisure runners,
Correct.
You cannot put them in
No, you
dorms.
cannot. You need to give them some, like resort type feel and all of that, where they wake up in the morning and they
So,
met with, a guy
go.
who's stretching with them.
Wanjari's
And then,
question.
you know.
Why dorms? For leisure runners.
So she said her position was that, and I told her, but so she said, like, professional runners are not looking for a lot of things. They just want a place to run. But I told her, but you're not targeting professional runners. You're targeting leisure runners. So they don't want to come and sleep in a dorm. But I think, again, it's they haven't thought through actually what they want. Because to me, when she said about what her goal was, I immediately went to accommodation. And to see them conclude that the dorms are sufficient because they only want them there for 2 or 3 days and then they go to Masai Mara, it tells you how much thought they have put into that, which is zero.
Yes.
I don't think they have really thought it through.
It's a per diem trip, period.
Because listen,
It checks the boxes.
Okay, fine. If let's say, for example, hypothetically speaking, fine. They want to experience dorm, leisure. That's fine. You can have a dorm so that they can get a feel of what it is like for what professionals
for the runners,
do.
Yeah.
I can get that. Fine. That would be an option. Another option still would be to have them stay in hotels. Let them have the option of. Just let them have the option. Because if you're bringing in leisure guys, right? Leisure. Mister, if I don't want to sleep in the dorms, I just want to wake up in my comfort, whatever, then I do my thing, I stretch, then I do my thing, and then after that I can go sightsee, go eat some food or whatever. Let it be my prerogative.
If you build a resort, and then you package.
There you go.
You package a touring experience and you tell them, when you come to these results in the slopes of Return, whatever it is, right? In the highlands of Returns, where the champions Kenyan runners train. What you get with this is free marathon coaching with a certain academy that trains champion marathons, and you leave the name of marathon that they train. That it comes as part of the package. And also we want people to see our Wanyamas. You know what? You say there's a day tour to Mount Elgon National Park where you can see stuff, and then there's also a tour to, if you want to do a city lap, there's shuttle transport to Eldoret town to go party and see the city vibe. And then you also can, like, but then the thing is, like, once you throw in that package of, like, you can run with us, you can train on a certain camp and be able to meet certain athletes or certain champions that come from the city. Like, make it a package. When I come for vacation, yes, I'm a luxury runner. I want to run, but I know if I can just get a day to just run where Kipchoge trained, talk to the coaches over there, do a tour of those camps, and come back, and then you sell me the rest of the R&R, That's a complete vacation.
Mika's just given them the blueprint.
Yes, totally.
Mika has just given for free.
I would
For
have
free.
charged them.
Yeah.
For
I
free.
would- I would
Mika
have
amepatia
charged too.
blueprint.
Yeah, but
That's it.
anyway, yeah, we hopefully one day we are gonna get reps from Tembea, Kenya, to maybe get their perspective on what they're thinking, so that we also understand what they're trying to do. But now, as we wrap up, I know we had promised that we're gonna have a brief conversation on in Kenya earlier this week. We lost General Francis Ogola through a tragic helicopter crash. We are gonna conclude with that. But before we get to that story, what are things to consider in future, Wanjeri, like for these events? Chicago has been doing this for a while. Shout out to Faith Chepkwony, who was also there in Boston supporting, and also DJ Top Don. And then I got word from Faith that New York, so Chicago is going to be in October, and then New York is going to be in November. So I think people need to start prepping now.
Heho, my guy. Heho,
Yeah,
Jesus.
so people need to start preparing right now to go for these events. But back to you and Jerry, what do you think, maybe from your experience, what needs to be tweaked to attract more people and also to attract more sponsorship so that people stop reaching deep in their pockets? Wanjeri.
I think one of it is just an awareness. I know a few people that I spoke to were not aware of the event. They never used to know the event used to happen. And I think when it's shared on Facebook, sometimes it's just the algorithms and what you see. Because I saw it shared by a lot of people, but at the same time, you meet people who never actually saw it, right? So I think we just need to, once we know, like for me, I found out because of listening to your show when you had Wilson on the show. So I think all of us can take the initiative to inform our friends of this event, tell them how great it is, so that they don't start complaining about being asked to pay whatever is the cover charge to get in. I think we can take that initiative. And then for me, it was actually the fact that it's actually good to volunteer for those events. And I did help with the cleanup at the end, but I felt like it would have actually been good to see the effort they have put towards the event, whether it's setting up the flowers, setting up the chairs. I think it's a good opportunity to also go and volunteer and help set up the stage, help with the cleanup and all. So that I took that as a personal challenge to make sure that if it happens again and I'm in the country, I will actually volunteer for the event. But I think creating an awareness to everybody, I honestly have nothing bad to say because the event, I felt it was very successful. It was half Kenyan or half African, and the rest of the people were from all over the world. So if Kenyans are not careful, that event will become a non-Kenyan event, right? Because
with Kenyan athletes.
Yes, it will be Kenyan athletes coming to see non-Kenyans, and that is not the intention. But I think we just need to do a better job of letting our friends know about the event and buying tickets ahead of time.